Hey everyone, this is Bo from the Mario server. I'm here to do a video on the new MusicQ update. Yeah, Shazam! A lot of you guys have been waiting for this update because it is a music update. Music in Mabinogi has been quite popular back in the days, and it kind of died to popularity for a while, and now it is back. It is quite the hit. I'm seeing lots and lots of people with music out in the game, and it's making the game very lively. Alright, anyways, there's lots to cover for this update, so let's get started. Alright, so if you guys go to the Mabinogi website, you will see it has been quite updated nicely with the Mabinogi MusicQ page. Now if you guys look on this page, you'll see that it's separated into 4 sections where it shows all the new updates. For the music composition, you can see that now in Mabinogi there is a nice little keyboard to play your songs and to create them. And there's also a new Bard Bulletin board where you can share your songs with other players. So I think that's really nice for those who want to share their music, you know, all those artists out there. And then there's a new renown system. Now keep in mind, these 2 things that I just announced right now is permanent in the game. It's not an event. Now the renown system, you guys can earn some nice rewards here, like these Milky Way instruments, if you have your renown level high enough, and it's got to be at least level 10 to receive a reward. The 16-player jam band is also a new thing, where now, if you guys are familiar with jamming as a band in Mabinogi, there is a party now for 16 players, and it's much more better because you can actually see the players' instruments and scores. There's also a new Blessing of Carabre, the God of Music thing that's been added to the game, where it's relative to, you know, some other things that I'll announce later, guys. And again, renown from NPC Brianna has a nice little effect for EXP bonus for shadow missions. So these are all nice new permanent buffs for you guys in-game. Now, the last but not least one here is the musical math dungeon. It's not too difficult, even though they made it kind of look kind of scary. But this musical math dungeon is it's also part of a quest that they just added, but it's also a permanent addition to the game, I believe. You can use a musical math dungeon pass, which doesn't cost you guys anything, to enter a little math dungeon in regards to music. The rewards that you guys can get are materials to craft these instruments here. Now, that's going to be quite a bit of grinding here, guys. But this math dungeon is not too difficult. It's more like a puzzle dungeon that's only 1 floor long. Not too bad, right? But if you guys are curious about what is going on for event-wise, here is the new event that they just added to the game. The event is called Music Appreciation Campaign, and it lasts up until January 3rd, and all you gotta do is talk to this lady here that you see on the left at the Bard Camp. Once you do that, she's gonna give you this little book where you can put some pages in after you help some NPCs in the game, and once you fill up the book, you'll get a nice Milky Way loot reward, a Bard Bag 10x12 coupon, and a Music Therapist title coupon. Now that's a pretty big bag, and I assume it's only for music instruments. Alright, to get started, you guys might want to go to the Bard Camp located in between Dunbarton and Taltine. If you guys take a look at my map, that is basically where the Bard Camp is located. Once you get to the Bard Camp, talk to the Royal Musician Alliance Cadet, and she'll give you a campaign ledger book where you can fill in with pages. Now you do have to choose your main character for this event, so you cannot do this on multiple characters. Now the most common question people had was, how do I help an NPC for this event? Now to do that, you just basically talk to the cadet again, and she will have a request option, and once you click on that, you will get a quest from an NPC once per day. So it's only a once a day thing, guys. The quests are actually very easy. All you have to do is go to the NPC, and then they're gonna have some sort of story for you, and they're gonna either want you to do a freestyle jam or maybe even do the musical math dungeon. Now to start the freestyle jam, it is located in your action list, and if you click on it, you'll see a countdown 1, 2, 3, 4, and if you land on 4, you get a fabulous pose. If you land on 1, you're probably going to get like a derp I failed pose. And basically what it is this little permanent addition to the game where you can play DDR. That's what I like to say it. If you guys remember the boombox in Mabinogi, it's very similar. You just press the WASD keys as instructed and try to get as many combos as you can. Ideally though, you just want to get 5. Anything higher than that won't really give you more EXP. So here, you just press the keys, like I said, and get combos. And if you fail, you'll get, like, I don't know, you'll grow big. You're gonna grow big, or you might summon, you know, animals that are like snakes and spiders and whatnot. They're not gonna hurt you. But if you succeed, you'll have like more, you know, non-threatening animals spawning, like owls and pigeons and cats and stuff like that. So it's a very cute thing, except like when you grow big, it's kind of horrendous. But the neat thing here is that if you get 5 combos during a freestyle jam, you will get this nice little music note effect following your character, and it's called the melody step, and it'll last for 1 hour, and it basically prevents the durability on your gears from dying faster. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, there is a Blessing of Carebrae, or Carebro, and it is a rare thing that you will see in the game. When it is announced, it will tell you what place it's located at and at what channel. So you'll see here that there's actually a little icon here flashing on the map showing where it is and how long this blessing is gonna last. Once you get to that location, you don't really need to find anyone playing the Freestyle Jam. You can actually host it yourself if you want to, and you can be hosting the Blessing of Carebrae for your renowned training. Now, here you guys can see that when you host a Blessing of Carebrae Freestyle Jam, it looks a lot different than your normal Freestyle Jam. It looks gold, actually, so that's how you guys can tell the difference between the normal one and the Blessing one. Now, if you join a Freestyle Jam with the Blessing of Carebrae, basically you guys will be getting more EXP. Not only that, but you'll also get more training on your Yavona Renown. Last but not least, if you guys get a 5 combo during a Carebrae Blessing during a Freestyle Jam, you will get Carebrae's Bugle, which is a extra buff to your melody step. It adds additional 3 music buff, as well as a nice trail of music notes that are gold instead of white, and your buff will last for 3 hours instead of 1. Just keep in mind that you need to have the melody step activated in order to use the Bugle. Alright, now back to the event. Once you guys are done with the NPC request, you just go back to the cadet and receive your reward. The reward is basically an AP potion, as well as the page needed for your ledger book, and a music appreciation box. If you open it, you have a chance of getting some gems or even some nice flashy instruments. Now, for the event, you guys are not always going to have to do the Freestyle Jam. You might have to do the Musical Math Dungeon. Now, to do this, you have to go to the Bard Camp and meet up with Ayla. There's also a side quest where she's going to have you do the Musical Math Dungeon anyways, so you might as well double dip here, guys. I'm not going to spoil anything, but just know that's a really short storyline. Now, Ayla here is your go-to girl if you guys want some Musical Math Dungeon passes. She basically sells them to you for 0 gold. That is free, guys, and all you have to do is just run the dungeon and come back to her if you guys want more passes. Now, the passes do expire, so you can't really like hoard a bunch of them, otherwise they'll just expire in your inventory, but that doesn't really matter because they don't cost you a thing. Alright, some potential spoilers here, guys. If you guys don't want to know the answers to the puzzles in the Musical Math Dungeon, please skip ahead. Otherwise, let's go on. The first room here, you guys will see a nice little musical setup here. It doesn't really do anything. It's just all decor, and you guys get the general gist of what the enemies are. These enemies are going to be really easy in this dungeon. Really, the hardest thing you'll fight is the Cobalt Archers, probably. So yes, you can run in here naked. The only thing that threw a lot of people off was that when you ran into that first room, you will notice that the doors won't open, and that's because you actually need to use the key that you picked up to open the door. Yeah, I got fooled my first time too. Now, the first room that you guys will encounter with puzzles is the Chamber of Memories. This room requires you to hit the harps in the corner and remember what song is being played from that harp. Technically, you can still do this without your music on because it will show the name of the song. So unless you guys are good with your ears or good by memory of names, you know, it's your choice. Once you hit all of the harps and you click on undo, you will see that you're able to finally choose the choices of which song belongs to each harp. It will play the song for you, so you guys can decide then if that's the correct song. Once you get them all correct, the door will open. If you get them wrong, it will spawn some enemies. It's not too chaotic. Don't worry about it. You know, you can always keep trying. And once you're done, like I said, doors will open. You can go on to the next room. Again, this dungeon is only 1 floor long, so it is super fast. The next type of room that you guys will encounter is the Chamber of Deceit. You'll see this, you know, dude in a creepy black robe here playing some music. And all you gotta do really is just to attack him. You're not gonna kill him, but he eventually will drop 3 things: a lute, a flute, and your key to open the door. Once you guys get to the next room, you'll notice that there are 4 harps in each corner. In this room, you will have to hit each harp and listen to whether if it's a string instrument or a non-string instrument. If you run into the one that's a non-string instrument, you will have to hit it with the flute that one enemy in the previous room dropped for you. So if you guys don't have music on, I don't know, maybe you guys gotta just hit everything with your flute and hope you get the correct one, like I did, yeah. Now continuing on to the dungeon, you will also run into a room where enemies will drop some of these little notes here on the floor. Now what these notes are used for is in the next room is a room again full of harps. I know we're just filled with harps in this dungeon. So basically you hit these harps and it'll tell you a letter note. There is going to be 1 note in this room that's not there, so you just have to keep a good memory on all these harps and remember which note is missing. And once you figure out which note is missing, you will see that the center of the room will spawn another harp, and in that harp you will have to hit that harp and choose the 1 note that's missing in your inventory. Now the next type of room is even more easier. You basically have to collect the notes again, and you will see a harp spawn in the center of the room. If you hit the harp, it's going to tell you an order of notes, and you have to hit the other harp that spawns afterwards and place the notes in that specific order. So, you know, they're telling you the answer, so it's like you can't fail unless you didn't see the letters here, guys. So pay attention to what you see on your screen. Alright, now the next room that you guys are going to encounter are those creepy robe guys again, but they're all in each corner. You'll also notice a instrument flying in the center of the room, and you pretty much have to kill the one that's holding it. And once you do that, a key will drop in the center of the room for the next room. So pay attention to the instrument in the center, guys. A lot of people don't do that, and they just keep hitting the wrong one and then just like keep spawning more. Finally, it's boss time. When you guys get to the boss room, you guys will have to kill some gold barred skeletons and they'll drop some music scrolls. Pick those up because you're going to have to play them depending on what song the boss is playing. But make sure you cancel the song quickly, otherwise he's just going to do some sort of shockwave attack at you. And then after that, you'll just, you know, just keep playing the song that he plays to damage him more. Now technically you can fight him normally with your own skills and he will take some damage, especially from OP players. So this is actually a faster way to kill him because switching between scrolls can be a pain unless you're in a party of 4. So yes, this is the maximum amount of players you can have in this dungeon, a party of 4. Once you guys are done with the dungeon, the reward that you guys may obtain are some materials used to craft the new Milky Way instruments that's shown on the website. And that is basically the musical math dungeon. Have fun spamming that, guys! But the biggest addition to the MusicQ update that caught a lot of attention to the more older players is the renown system. The renown system you can locate under your character info in its own tab. Basically, you'll see 3 characters under there, and what it does is that as you rank up your renown characters, you will get an increase in critical rate max value percentage for Nelly. You will get a critical damage percent increase for Yvona, and for Brianna, you will get a shadow mission completion EXP percentage increase bonus. Now these are all great bonuses for all those players who've reached max in everything and they just want more. Now to level up your renown characters, if you hover over their icon, they will have a huge list of training methods you guys can do to level up the EXP. You're capped at 2,000 points per day, so anything more than that won't even give you any more EXP. Lots of people found many ways to level up their renown quickly, and it definitely does involve group plays, so it will encourage a lot of players to come together and play music. Now, for example, for Yavona's training method, which is one of the hardest ones on this list, requires you to play a music score that lasts at least 1 minute, consisting of 300 or more notes at the end. So that means you guys cannot play any, blank scroll or no scroll at all. You will have to actually compose music or get one off of the bulletin board. You can also receive points for receiving at least 1k gold in your donation box. Now, for those that don't know how to open your donation box, you just go to your action list and click on performance. Now, I'm not going to go through every single training method here, but just know that you guys can do multiple training methods at the same time, so that way you guys can level up your renown much faster. Brianna is probably one of the easiest training methods because for one of their training methods, all you have to do is receive a musical buff. So if you're in a big party and everyone is just spamming their buffs and canceling and just repeating it over and over, eventually you guys will finish the renown training for that day very quickly. As for Nelly's training method, his is actually pretty easy too. For one of his training method, it asks you to have someone play your music scroll that consists of 200 or more notes to the end. Now, this is actually very easy because you can share your music scroll on the board and hopefully, somebody random or even a friend of yours can grab the scroll for you. And it doesn't really matter if you're not in proximity of the character, if you are even in another channel, as long as you guys are both online, if somebody is playing your score, you will get training off of it. So, here it is. I'm getting training off of somebody that's playing my score in a different channel, completely not in the same area. Once you guys hit level 10 for the renowned characters, you will get a quest where you have to meet up with them and they will reward you with a Milky Way instrument. So that's kind of nice. I mean, like, free Milky Way instrument just by doing the renowned system. Now, another new addition that they added to the game was the change in the jam band party. So this is amazing, guys. You can now have 16 players in the party, and not only that, the interface looks different. It looks way better. You can see that on the interface it shows your characters obviously in the list, as well as what instrument they're holding and what music scroll they're holding. The dot next to their name will indicate whether or not they readied up for their jam session in the action list. It will turn blue when it's activated, and it'll be gray pretty much when it's off. There is also a pure music mode that you will see above your leader's head. So it's a little headphone icon. If you click on it, it'll pretty much silence all the sound around you that's playing. So if you have it on, you can hear your own music and not everyone else's on the outside. Now the neat thing here is it also includes game sounds. So here you guys can see that without it you can hear the sound, but with it you can't hear the sound for the inventory opening. Last but not least, the neat addition is the little composer that they added into the game. They have a little piano in the game now, so you can actually click and play the sound of the note that you want to hear. I know before in Mabi you had to actually know how the whole MML code stuff worked and typed it in yourself. So make sure you have your sound on if you guys want to hear all the sound bits and whatnot. Otherwise, if you guys are like a pro at composing, because obviously I am not a pro, I'm just, this nooblet that's just trying to learn how to play music. This is basically the tool for you guys if you guys just want to test it out. So here you guys can change the volume and make it the loudest volume possible. I'm gonna compose a masterpiece, guys. This is gonna be a masterpiece. I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just clicking things. For shamed all artist music players out there. I'm so sorry. And then you can click on the play button and listen to your little masterpiece as well. There's also other options here, guys. Let's see. So you can input your melody, your harmony, if you want to like make the song even more complex with overlapping notes and whatnot. There's also even a song section for those who are really good at this to make the song version where they sing through a microphone. There's also a hidden chord where you have to click on if you don't want people to see your notes and copy your song. So make sure you guys put a title for your song, because you know it's a masterpiece, of course. And then once you create your song, you have to have a scroll on you. But if you don't have one, that's okay, because they have this free scroll option now. So for the free scroll option, basically it's a scroll that only has 20 count on it, so it's not a lot, but it's, hey, you know, it's free, so you guys can, you know, test out songs if you want to. So here is my masterpiece. Let me play this amazing thing. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm so good at this. I'm sorry guys, I am not the best composer in Mabinogi. I would literally transcribe other people's songs just because I can't make my own. Speaking of transcribing, you guys can find the Bard Bulletin board in your Compose window. If you guys click on that, you guys will see a huge list of everyone's song that they submitted. There's also even a jam session for those who are even more expert in composing music in Mabi. Now there's also another section that's organized by how popular it is by likes. Now, you can even preview the song before you guys transcribe it. So if you guys like it and you're like, oh, this is a nice beat to it, I want to play this on my lute or whatever, even piano, you guys can click on transcribe and get a copy of the song. Now, if you guys are really good at composing and you want to register your scrolls on the board, you can click on the register button on the top. Here you can input your own comments and your scrolls. There are total 16 slots here, but that's technically for a jam session, so it's not for multiple uploads of different types of songs. You can even choose the type of instrument you want, and you can hide your chords if you don't want people stealing your song. So it's highly suggested you guys do that, because you cannot put hidden chord scrolls in this register list. And that is my MusicQ video, guys. Hopefully my video was very informative to you guys. If I forgot anything, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And like always, guys, stay awesome and keep singing in Mabi.
Alright, we gotta put on our dust and armors and get out your step 7 gear.
Step 6.
We're never gonna make it.
No.
I know. Music notes of death.
Oh my god.
Oh no, the skeleton.
I feel everything. I'm distracted by the notes. Look at
I know, right?
what is
Alright.
So, I'm gonna play music. I think that's what it means.
The next spawn.
No, where's my music? Oops, I'm looking in the wrong tab.
Spawn.
Look at this.
No, I'm joking.
What? What's happening?
Open the door, Bobo.
Wow, wow.
Open the door, Bobo. Thanks, Bobo.
Oh my god, you made me think that I had to do something.